Welcome to Another Dose of Dopamine. My name is Robert, and I am here with family. That's right, we are family. This is my cousin Nicole. How are you, my dear?
I'm well, thank you.
Now, Nicole, for everyone who doesn't know you, and there's a couple people, I suppose, you want to tell them about your professional experience and what you're doing these days?
Sure. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, and I work exclusively online, supporting women in all of the state of Nevada and California. Um, to live the life that they want to live. I can get into more specifics, but I'm not sure that that's here nor now. Yeah.
That's good. That's beautiful. So it really, to me, it fits a long line of our family. There's a number of therapists and, I guess people who work in wellness within our family,
Yeah.
myself included. And it brings us together in a cool way because we grew up as sort of like proxy brother, sister, of course, about 14 years of difference in age, a couple miles between us, but enough to where you've always been a very dear person to me. And the fact that we now, as adults, get to collaborate is extraordinarily cool to me. And that's what I want to bring to everybody who's watching right now. The cinema therapy program is a big part of what we do at Yes and Exercise, really our flagship program. And you are engaged in the Shawshank Hero's Journey. You've gone through the first 2 weeks of the class. So let's just start there. You you had some hesitation going into it, and how's it going for you?
So fun. I look forward to it. It's on Mondays, so it's a wonderful start to my week. Um, I was terrified mostly of the writing process. And I'm not someone who has Parkinson's, and the majority of the people in your program do. And so what I'm writing about, I think, is a little less obvious, or felt a little less obvious. And so that was part of the what am I going to bring here? What am I going to write about? But I love the workshopping that we all do. I love getting to just yes and with a wonderful group. Um, it's you can't help but see the clinical aspect to the work and the therapeutic component to the work. So that's always fun for me to engage in that way, because that's just part of who I am. So I
Let's
love,
jump into that part of it
yeah.
because I'm not a trained therapist. I have my PhD in interdisciplinary health sciences, research based. I built these clinical programs and tested them within that program, but I don't have your particular background. So your presence here is potentially offering huge validation for me, and I'm so glad to hear that you're receiving this both on a personal and professional level. When you talk about the clinical application and seeing this as someone outside of Parkinson's, especially, which also important to me because I see the universality, but of course I'm grounded in the Parkinson's world. Talk to me about some of those clinical applications, how you think this work works, as it were, and what excites you about it.
A couple things. One is I take the framework that one of the core human yearnings is to belong and be connected. And so I think just in creating a space where people gather for 90 minutes once a week, um, to reflect, share, do improv, play. And then on top of that, we are corresponding, in looking at each other's writing and doing all of that. I think that that creates a sense of belonging and connection, which I think is really helpful for wellness. It's sort of the antidote to loneliness and feeling like something's wrong with us. So there's that component, which is there. I think that there's a lot of obviously looking at the movie, or looking at our character development within our own writing, where there's a way in which you can sort of rewrite a story or create a preferred narrative, or a narrative that aligns with our values and all of that. And I think that's incredibly therapeutic. And I know that I do that type of work with my clients in a different type of way
Let's hold the line on that for a second because we're about at the end of the 5 minutes, but I want to set the table for the next episode. When you talk about a preferred narrative, I like the way you phrase that. And I don't think a lot of people even believe they have the choice of a narrative or that they're aware of the power of a narrative. So let's come back in the next episode and pick that up. Okay.
Okay.
All right. We'll see you in a minute.